Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this particular video is going to find you guys in good health. I am fine and Kisumu is fantastic and very peaceful. On Tuesday, the ODM party conducted their primaries in Kisumu County. And while that event was taking place, another important event was also taking place in Rift Valley. The UDA party was conducting their primaries in Nandi Hills constituency. That exercise had been postponed following the demise of one of the aspirants in the constituency. Actually, a gentleman who was going to give Alfred Keter a hard time. And I had an interest in that particular nomination exercise. And this is what I updated on my Facebook page on that particular day. That I have a keen interest in Nandi Hills UDA nominations for several reasons. I am watching to see whether Ruto allies will succeed in stopping Alfred Keter. By that time, the supporters of Alfred Keter had actually stopped people they perceived to be associates of Oscar Sudi from entering the polling station. And I remember, because I was following that event very closely, I remember even Oscar Sudi posting a video of himself claiming that he was in Eldoret and he should not be blamed by Alfred Keter if he lost that election.
Hey, niko Eldoret. Unaweza ona hii ni barabara ya kuingia town. Niko Eldoret, nimetoka lunch hapo Pop Place. Nimekaa hapo for 3 hours. Nasikia watu wanasema niko Nandi Hills, sema sijui nini. Watu wanaandikwa wapige kura bwana. Mimi niko na kura moja na mimi Alfred Ozingisho. Le Mox Village. So tafadhali mwache vitina. Niliwaambia jana mimi sio ghost, kila mahali wanalia sijui.
And at the end of the day, Alfred Keter managed to win in that particular nomination exercise.
Tukawapembeleza, maybe waliangalia ni 50%, 70%, wakapiga kura. Baada ya hiyo tunakuja hapa tumeoshinda, wameongeza 5,000 kwa ballot. Wakakuja senators, hawatufikii, tuko mbali. Baada ya hiyo yote wakanunua kura, kuna kazi ambao wakufanya. Mwenyezi Mungu anatupatia ushindi, lakini tunanyimwa na binadamu. Sasa certificate tumepata, na tunaomba chama chetu cha UDA waheshimu wale raia ambao wanataka. Kama mmoja kama
Why do you think Alfred Keter won in that nomination exercise? Because the allies of the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto, actually camped in that constituency to ensure that Alfred Keter is defeated. None other than Talam, William Ruto's communications officer, camped there. The presence of Emmanuel Talam, in my view, was the presence of William Samoei Arap Ruto in that constituency. Talam requested the residents of the constituency not to vote for Alfred Keter because Alfred Keter is and was part of Azimio la Umoja movement. I also remember Caleb Kositany, even after losing in his own bid, camping in Nandi Hills constituency to the campaign Keter. But the worst was from Didmas Baraza. Didmas Baraza came all the way from Bungoma County, Kimilili constituency, to Nandi Hills constituency, where he lectured Alfred Keter before the voters and appealed to them not to vote for him because Alfred Keter, in their view, was Mtu wa Raila. But when the votes were cast and counted, Alfred Keter managed to win. So in this video, I want us to look at why Alfred Keter managed, against all odds, to win in that nomination exercise. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And with the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to the main issue. Why do you think Alfred Keter managed to win his seat back? Because Alfred Keter was with a group of people who really gave Ruto a hard time. He was with Tiren, who opted to go independent. He was with others also who leaned more towards Gideon Moi at the initial stages of this parliament. But if you go back during the 2017 election, Alfred Keter also managed, against all odds, to win against William Ruto's candidates. William Ruto had a preferred candidate. Alfred Keter managed to win against that particular candidate. What's happening? Remember, in 2017, Alfred Keter teamed up with Oscar Sudi, the same Oscar Sudi we are talking of today, and he also teamed up with Governor Mandago. And they formed a team which thwarted attempt to lock them out, because the original idea was that these three individuals were supposed to be locked out, but they managed to thwart those attempts. Oscar Sudi then went and started working very closely with William Ruto up to now. Mandago, after winning, because Mandago won because of the Azimio la Umoja votes, it made the difference down there. Sorry, because of the support of NAC supporters, it made a small difference in his to his advantage in Uasin Gishu. But Alfred Keter doing the same twice is something which most Kenyans are actually asking why and how he did it. Number one, the first strategy he used is that, from my own observation, Alfred Keter has developed a personal touch with the people of Nandi Hills. Otherwise, it's not easy. Alfred Keter worked with Raila Odinga in 2007. Of course, he was also with Ruto. And when he joined politics, he easily managed to win. Second term, Alfred Keter was one of the guys who were fighting William Ruto bitterly over maize prices. So probably the fight he was waging against the deputy president, in my view, was resonating so well with the people there. So he understood their problems and passed those problems. So because he is in personal touch with these people, there is no way these people are going to leave him. I want to study Alfred Keter and his brand of politics, so that one day when I join politics, I'll be an Alfred Keter. Because what can explain how he managed to do it? You know, the UDA wave today in the larger Rift Valley is so strong to an extent that majority of sitting MPs were sent home. In Nandi, I think it's only Alfred Keter, or maybe there are two who sneaked in. Majority of members of parliament were actually sent home. Majority of MCS sent home. But how he managed to reinvent himself? Because this guy joined UDA in March. I remember he was received at the Jubilee UDA headquarters by none other than Rigathi Gachagua. So that's number one. He has personal touch with the people. Number two, I also tend to think that Alfred Keter has serious development record in the constituency. And because of the track record, these people really don't see any need of replacing him. But I think things could have changed if the other gentleman had not passed on, because the other gentleman was also being pushed by the masses. They were contributing for him in Harambes, in his political rallies. He was just a nobody who had started emerging, but he was involved in accident. So I'm convinced that the development track record of Alfred Keter in Nandi Hills constituency is speaking for itself. Because the truth is, Nandi Hills constituency will vote for Ruto to the last man. It was expected that the same was going to apply to a person who gave the deputy president a lot of time. Many people are saying that William Ruto and his party are democratic. The truth of the matter is that as much as that could be true, the other truth is that there's nothing they could do about Alfred Keter, because they would rather Alfred Keter win as a UDA candidate, MP, rather than win as either an independent candidate or using another political party, because those numbers will definitely add. And this is why I think the deputy president is scoring hugely. Maybe he had figured out, using opinion polls and the science, that Alfred Keter was not going to be defeated. So he had no option. Let him win 20 co-election, because dealing with Keter when I'm the president is not going to be a difficult job. So I think the track record of Alfred Keter is speaking for itself in that constituency. Number 3, I also tend to think that Alfred Keter Alfred Keter's message is actually resonating so well with the masses. His brand of politics probably is the kind of politics which his voters love, the politics of defiance. And you can go into the history and look at the Nandi. The Nandi generally are people who are a bit defiant in nature. And because Alfred Keter is defiant, he finds himself being loved by his people. And the message, like for example, when he talks of maize prices and dealing with the cartels, and the truth of the matter is that these are people who are maize farmers. So definitely, those kind of messages, as much as they may appear to be fighting the DP, those messages are resonating so well with the masses. And number 4, I'm also convinced that the allies of the deputy president who were ganging up against Alfred Keter were unpopular. People don't love them. Otherwise, if people loved Didmas Baraza, for example, they would have heeded to his advice. They would have bought the information he was telling them, that this guy is a Azimio, and they would have voted against him. And lastly, I also tend to think that Alfred Keter has mastered the voting pattern of his people. So he understands maybe the constituency, that for me to win nominations, I just need to do this, this, this. For me to win the hearts of people, these are the things which I need to do. And for me to win, there is a time frame I have to make noise, then appear to join UDA again due to pressure, things like those. So Alfred Keter, against all odds, has high chances of becoming the next member of parliament again for Nandi Hills constituency. And in my comments in that post, I was reading that even the Mwindi guy, Misram, is likely to also make it back to parliament. But Terrain will find it difficult. People have not forgiven him. So those are the questions. Why would the people easily forgive Alfred Keter, a man who has been leading the choir, but punish the other guy, Terrain? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. And I want to ask you a question. What do you think is Kalonzo Musyoka's mission in the Azimio la Umoja movement? Is Kalonzo Musyoka being used? Or is Kalonzo Musyoka just trying to protect himself against Raila Odinga's betrayal? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.